We're going to get into some of the basic modeling tools soon, but before we do that, we should talk about normals, because that's one of the key concepts of computer graphics that explains a lot of what's going on under the hood. So if you understand normals, you'll be able to pick up the tools much faster. Essentially, normals are just the direction that the mesh components are facing. So here we have a cube. It has 6 faces and 8 vertices, and each of them are storing not just their location, but also the direction that they're facing. This has a couple really important functions, one of them being rendering. The direction of the face, in this case in our viewport, is telling Blender how to shade the sides. On our basic cube, we just have a light side on the left at the moment, a dark side on the right, and a kind of medium gray on the top. It knows how to shade that correctly because it knows that the top face is pointing up along the z-axis, the left face is pointing to the negative x-axis, and the right face is pointing to the negative y-axis. And so it just maps everything accordingly before it comes to your screen, and we see it as nicely shaded. This is the basic connection between normals and shading. But now let's actually go into edit mode and see these normals for ourselves. I'll hit tab to go into edit mode, and we can just look at the normals straight away by going to our overlays and turning on normals. I'll turn on this third one, which has this little line coming out of the face. These are going to be our face normals, and so that we can see them more clearly, I'll set the size to 0.25, just to make them a little bit bigger. Right now they're also overlapping our axes a little bit, so I'll hit A to select everything, and just hit G and Z to bring this up above the grid. And now we can see them a bit better. We just have these straight lines pointing straight out of our faces. Let's go ahead and delete one of these faces so that we can see the inside of our cube too. I'll hit 3 to go to face select mode, select a face, and hit delete and faces. Now we can see that there aren't any lines pointing inwards, they're all pointing outwards. By default, Blender shades both sides of a face, while other apps like game engines often do not. This is kind of a double-edged sword, because on one hand, it makes it really easy to see our object and interact with it accordingly, but on the other hand, it's not obvious which way our faces are pointing, and that becomes incredibly important in some situations. It's a little bit distracting though to work with these lines on that show the direction of the normals, which by the way, before we switch out of this, let me just go ahead and select an edge. I'll hit 2 to go to edge select mode, and let's go to our move tool, and let me move some of these edges around just so you can see the normals change as I move this. As this face slants up, its normal slants up as well. Okay, so go ahead and push these vertices around a little bit and see how the normal line reacts. Now let's go ahead and turn off that normal line, down to normals under the overlays and turn off the face normals. And now let's copy what some of the other render engines are doing. Let's go to our shading, down to the drop down, and under options turn on backface culling. That just means that the back of the face is not going to be rendered. This can definitely help speed up performance if you have some really heavy meshes. Now only one side of our face is visible, while the other side is invisible. So if you work like this, it becomes a little bit more obvious which side everything is pointing to, but it also has some drawbacks because sometimes you might not even see the faces are there because, well, of course they're invisible. So there's also a third way of checking, which is also in the overlays. We can go down to geometry and turn on face orientation. That's going to render blue on the side of the face that's pointing outwards and red on the side of the face that's pointing inwards. But right now we have backface culling on, so we can't see the red. So let's go down to our shading dropdown and turn off backface culling. And now we can see very clearly that the inside of this cube is all pointing inwards. And that's how it should be. Pretty much all of the time, we're going to want our normals pointing outwards. And a lot of the time, it's not something we're going to have to worry about because it just happens automatically as we work. But I'll show you a couple situations where this might get messed up and cause some errors. But to look at that, let's go ahead and delete our cube and add a monkey instead, and talk about smooth shading for a second. Let me go to my overlays, turn off face orientation, hit tab to go into object mode, hit delete, shift A, mesh, and monkey. Now we have something a little bit more complex to work with. I'll hit G and Z just to bring her above the grid here. And let's go back to the topic of shading. So far, all of our faces appear very flat and faceted. That's because Blender's doing a super simple calculation that just checks which way the face is pointing and shades the whole thing accordingly. But there's also another way of displaying a mesh, which is smooth shading, where it blends between all of the normals of all of the faces. To make an object smooth shaded, you just have to right-click in object mode and hit shade smooth. Now, instead of having the entirety of a face pointing all in one direction, it's getting blended between all of the adjacent faces, which gives us a really nice smooth result. Now, it's not going to be as smooth as it could be just because we probably need more faces, but seeing this on a low poly object should make it more clear how it works. So take a second and practice right-clicking and switching between shading flat and shading smooth. This is also something that we can do in edit mode. Whether something is shaded smooth or flat is a property of the face, So we're not going to be able to do that for edges or vertices, only faces. So let me hit 3 to go to face select mode here and just select some faces. Then I'll right click and go down to shade smooth. Now if I go to object mode, you can see that only that area is smooth shaded while everything else is still faceted. If you're coming from another program, you might be familiar with something called a smoothing angle. And that's a method of splitting the smooth shading wherever there's a very harsh angle in the mesh. So maybe since these faces on the top don't have much of an angle between them, maybe they should be smooth shaded. But if there's somewhere where there's a very harsh angle, for example, the difference between this face and that one, where there's a really big difference in angle, maybe that should look sharp and not smoothed out. Because if we do smooth that out, that's where we start to get some problems and everything looks a little bit mushy. So to use a smoothing angle, you have to have your object set as smooth shaded. I think the way Blender does this is a little bit overcomplicated, but once you get used to it, then it works pretty well. Once you've set your object to be smooth shaded, you can go down to your object data properties, in this case our mesh properties, go down to normals, and turn on auto smooth. This is going to automatically break the smooth shading wherever we have an edge where the angle between the two faces on either side is greater than 30 degrees. And we can change that angle to whatever we want. If we set it to 0, then it's essentially the exact same as using flat shading. If we set it to 180, then that's going to be the same as using smooth shading. But something like 35 or 45 is usually a good default. The only reason this is off by default is because it takes a little bit more time to calculate. With a low poly mesh like this, it's not really going to matter, but if you have a super high poly object, then this will definitely slow it down a little bit. Now for the power users out there who want to really manually set which edges are sharp and which ones are smooth, you can also do that in edit mode. But you also need to have auto smooth turned on. This will not work if auto smooth is off. Again, another one of those things that I think Blender overcomplicates, but oh well. Let's hit tab to go into edit mode here. Let's go to edge select mode because we can only mark sharp on edges. And let's just take some edges that we want to be sharp. Let's just say these top ones on our head. Right click and go down to mark sharp. You'll notice that this edge is now colored a little bit differently. It's a light teal. And if we go into object mode, we can see that there's now a crease there. Now, no matter what angle we have the auto smooth at, whether that's all the way at 0 or all the way up at 180, that's always going to be marked sharp. Then if you want to get rid of that, then we just need to go back into edit mode, select these edges, right click, and clear sharp. Now it's back to looking perfectly smooth. Let's look at another object where auto smooth might be really useful. Let's go ahead and delete our monkey, and this time add a cylinder. Shift A, mesh, and cylinder. Now you can see that you might want this to be completely smooth all the way around it, but you might want the tops and the bottoms to be flat. Because if we right click and set this to shade smooth, then we're going to get some really weird artifacts near the top and the bottom. Remember that all smooth shading is doing is averaging between the directions of the faces. And since one side is pointing, way out this direction, and the top is pointing way out here, this is a really extreme angle to try to blend between, and that's why we're getting this weird coloring. So there are a couple ways that we could fix that, including adding more geometry here, but for now, let's just turn on auto smooth. Now we have a cylinder that looks great because the sides are nice and smooth and the top is nice and sharp. Just remember that auto smooth is under the normals category in the mesh data properties, and you also have to have smooth shading on in order for it to work. If we set this to shade flat, then everything's going to be flat regardless of the angle. I think this property should override that, but oh well. For a second though, let's go back to smooth shading here and talk about what happens if our faces are pointing the wrong direction. Right now, all of our faces are pointing outwards like they should. And we can see this if we go to our overlays, and again turn on face orientation. I'll hit tab to go into edit mode here, and let's flip a couple of these faces. First, let's do the top one. I'll just select it in face select mode, and then to get to the normals menu, we just need to go to mesh, down to normals, or use the Alt and hotkey to get the same menu, and let's press flip. That's going to change the direction of that face, and if we hit tab to go into object mode, turn off face orientation, then everything still looks fine. But if we turn off auto smooth and we look at this in just smooth shading, then we're going to start to get some weird shading problems. Again, that's because the direction that the face is pointing is super important for how it renders. So let's flip this back around. I'll hit tab to go into edit mode again, go to mesh, normals, and flip. Let's do this on some of these side faces and see what happens. I'll just select just a few of these faces, it doesn't really matter how many. Then I'll hit Alt-N to bring up my normals menu, and I'll hit flip. Now we've really messed up our shading, because it thinks that all of these faces are pointing in the opposite direction. So if you have any weird issues like this, you'll probably want to check your normals. It's one of the things that trips beginners up the most. And when in doubt, recalculate normals. That's just a way of automatically resetting everything for you, so you don't have to go through and manually fix them. So to recalculate your normals, just select everything with A, go to your normals menu, which is Alt-N, and choose Recalculate Outside. You could also use the hotkey Shift-N. If you wanted them to all point inwards for whatever reason, then you could also bring up the same menu, Alt-N, and choose Recalculate Inside. Now everything's going to be pointing inwards. And we can see that if we turn on face orientation again. But let's recalculate it to be outside just as it should be. So let's use the hotkey Shift-N this time, because that's something we're going to be using quite a bit, and so it's nice to have a hotkey specifically for that command. So Shift-N to recalculate normals, and that's going to fix a lot of potential issues for you down the road. So go ahead and practice switching between flat shading and smooth shading, checking the face orientation, flipping your normals, recalculating your normals, and turning on auto smooth. Once you've got all that down, then let's get modeling.